Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender. Me, myself, and I play through the main event scenario. We're getting ready to go into Soviet Operations phase of 1945, February 1945. The game is published by GMT Games, designed by Salvatore Vasta. We will get right to it. Go start my timer. If I get well into the end turn phase, I probably will just finish it up. I know exactly what I'm going to do with the Russians. Very similar to what I did with the last time. I see a chance to possibly break through up here to the north, so I'm going to play my my surprise attack marker right there, and then bring up my national tracks, and I need to leave 35. So when I get close to 35, I need to think about stopping. First attack, which will set the tone for everything. So I'm going to activate him for 2. And he's going to assault the 18th Infantry. The Germans do have a tanks marker, and they do have airplanes. So that's going to be an assault. Before I finish, I will take this airplane here. He will fly to Danzig. Best the Germans can get is a 1. Doesn't matter what I get because I can only do 1 sortie on him, so we each kind of take a sortie there. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this. So he's going to go and do 1 sortie there. And then he's going to do 1 sortie there as well. Okay. Then for this attack, we will use up the aircraft in Brest. Oh, the Germans could throw their tanks markers. Now we have to think. The best Russians can get is throwing a tank, right? And an airplane, so they'd be +1, +2, +3, -1 for the weather. And I'd still be a 0. I could become a +1. He'd be a +2. He could also throw in heavy artillery if I throw in my tank. So then he could be +4 to my +1. But that looks like that's a very important hex. So we go to combat commitment. Everybody commits. Germans as well. So I know he's going to throw his tanks marker, because that's all he can throw. So we just get that out right now, because that's all Germany has. I knocked their airplanes out. That's the lovely thing about declaring assaults, is that you can say, well, before I resolve that, I'm going to do other actions. And so you can play the games like I just did. The Russians will throw one of their tanks markers here as well. They're going to use up this airplane in Brest. So right now I'm +1 because I'm elite. +1 because I'm armor, +1 for an airplane, +1 for the surprise attack marker, and the German is +1. +2 for German, -2 for being foot, +1 for an armored unit, for an armor tanks marker. So right now it's +4 to +1, and I have to take 1 off for the weather, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and take 1 off for the weather. Right now it's +1 to +3 to +1. I only have 2 heavy artillery. The question is it worth trying to blow him up? I think I really need to try and blow him up. So I'm also going to throw a heavy artillery here. So that gives me an extra +2. So just to double check, he's elite, that's 1. Tank 2, aircraft 3, surprise attack marker 4, 5, 6 for the heavy artillery, -1 for the weather. And the Germans get +1 because they have a tanks marker involved. So it's +5 to +1. And the Russians roll. 3 plus 5 is an 8. Germans roll. 6 plus 1 is a 7. They hold their ground, which kind of defeats everything I was trying to do. I needed to get him at least to retreat so I could cut this guy off. So now it's not going to work. Well. Not going to work like I wanted it to, but oh well. Things you have to do. Turn track. Where's the turn track? Tanks markers go on the turn for next turn for both of us. We just don't have to face those anymore. Well, I definitely still want to push through here, I guess. Right now it would be maybe +2 to +2 right now. +1 for the tank, +1 for the elite, +1 for the guards adding in would be +3. Makes us +2 to +2. And throw an aircraft in and an armored unit, or a tanks marker, I should say, which would make it +4. You count for weather. Because right now it's +3 to +2, and then I have to take 1 off for weather. And if I add in those other two things, I would get up to +4 to +2, which would pretty much force a retreat. Yeah, it's, God. If I fail on that, then this whole offensive marker is wasted. Oh, before I do that, I should roll for my heavy artillery. Russian heavy artillery, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll get it back in June. Oh, that's something I forgot to do. I always forget to take this off because I bury it. So this has to go onto the faction track. This price stacker. Holy box. Okay. Now let's go back to east. This is very annoying. Well, let's do the easy ones. I guess I'm going to let Warsaw sit. So that's 2, 4, 5. More. I need to take off. 2, 4, 5. There's Russians in there. There's 5 more. We're assaulting this guy. So I am +2 because of elite and armor, +1 for a buddy, +2 for a shock, -1 for the weather. And I'll go ahead and use a sortie down here to make that a plus, another +1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -1. So yeah, +5. And he's a garrison, so he's only a 0. And the Germans don't have anything they can add anymore, so just roll. Russians at +5. Get a 2. +5 is a 7. Germans roll a 3. 7 to a 3 is a DR. So he retreats X. I'll go ahead and take it with the guards, like I normally do. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I'll just move 2 back here. 2, and then 1 for the shock army. Oops, up here. So now I have, he's the primary, so 2, 4 more. 40. So it's 2 as base, plus 2 for the shock, plus 1 here is plus 4. Minus 1 is, okay, so I'm plus 1 because I'm elite, plus 1 because I'm armor, plus 2 for the shock, plus 1 for the guy. I'll throw in an airplane to be plus 6, and then minus 1 for the weather, minus 1 for the hills. And we're assaulting this guy, obviously the one that's in the center of the 3 hexes. Plus 4 to 0, Russians roll. 1 plus 4 is a 5. Germans roll a 2, so they are retreated. They only have one place to retreat, which is there. And I will take it with the shock army. So we kind of got the 2nd Panzer in a position where he can't really retreat next turn. He's got to fight me out of a hex to get a retreat path for the future turn. It's what I was hoping to do here by pushing the 18th. If I could push it, then I would keep the 11th from having a retreat route, but that didn't work. So I think I just go for broke here on this one. Right, so that's 2, 4, 5 more. Down to 39. I'm going to check real quick. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10. That's 11. That's 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I must have spent some more somewhere. I started at 58. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I spent 18. I don't know why I have myself at 39. Because I'm at 40. Okay. We're assaulting this X. It's kind of obvious. I will be dropping a tanks marker there. And an airplane there. And I'm not sure if I'm going to throw the heavy artillery yet. So let's see what this is at. So I start with the guy in Königsberg as the primary. So he's plus 1 because he's elite, plus 1 because he's armor. The guards unit thinks he's armor, so he's going to add 2. Then I have a shock army adding it. That's plus 2. Then I have a surprise attack marker. That's plus 1. Germans are at plus 2 because, hey, they're German. There's no terrain in that hex, so it's just minus 1 for the weather. So right now I'm plus 6 to plus 2. That pretty much forces a retreat, right? I won't be able to retreat next turn. How dare. But I would get a 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, just by throwing that. 7 to plus 3. Not likely to get him taken down a peg. So I might just take the hex and say the heck with that. Okay, I guess I'm kind of stuck on that combat. I can't. I'm going to hold off on the heavy artillery. I might see a better place to use it. Okay, so no heavy artillery. +6 to +2. It took me some time there to do some math. I didn't want to. Sorry, I'm not talking out loud. I'm losing my voice, so I'm trying to cut that down. But I probably shouldn't have just sat there with dead silence either. But okay, so +6 to +2. Russians roll. 3 + 6 is a 9. Germans roll. A 1. Uh-oh. That changes things. That changes things quite a bit from what I was going to do. What that does, if you go look, a 9 to a 3 is a DD, which means I have a chance to possibly pop him. So he has to retreat. Move one play. Turn track goes on turn track next turn. So now I have a chance to possibly pop him, so I'm going to take it. This armored goes 1, 2, 3 down to 38. And it's going to assault this guy again. I will throw this airplane. So I start off at +1 because I'm elite, +1 because I'm armored, +1 for the surprise attack marker, +1 for the airplane, and I'm going to throw my heavy artillery to be another +2. So I'm +6 to 0. If I did that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, -1 for weather. Let's say something's not right there, but he's at a 0. So what I'm hoping to get here is a DD exchange out here, because it would kill that unit. And then I might even be bold enough to stick the armored unit's nose out. Bring this shock army around. 1, 2, 3. And then attack this guy with no retreat route. Would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5 for an airplane -1. So it'd be +4 to +3. But then he has to try to flip up his ground units. So minimum's going to get a 4. Best I'm going to get's a 9, which is a DR. Such conundrums. But I think I really want to do this. I want to try and make sure I'm taking a chance to getting a defender eliminated there, or a DD. So my chances go up because a DD is the same as an eliminated on a reduced unit. So, trying to see if I can't pull something off here. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to, but okay. So I'm +5 to 0. Again, 1 for elite, 1 for armor. So that's 2. 1 for the airplane is 3. 1 for the surprise attack marker is 4. And 2 for the heavy artillery is 5, 6, -1 for the weather. +5 to 0. Russians roll. A 6 + 5 is an 11. I'm guaranteed of at least retreating him. And he rolled a 1, so he's actually eliminated. So that does a couple things. First things, he lost an army in defense. He's down on low point. And then that goes on the eliminated box of the faction card. I can take the hex. Yeah, I think I'm going to be bold and stupid. Roll for the heavy artillery. 6. So another unit, another counter that will never return to the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's another unit that's out of commission. Okay. Got a surprise attack marker. I might as well take it. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 with him. That's 1. And then 2 more for the armored unit. Which means this is where I have to stop. Because I need to get back my airplanes and get my surprise attack marker back on the track. So this is going to be my last attack on the 5th Panzer here. Trying to add in everything I possibly can. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this airplane. Oh, I had to throw that airplane for this one. Sorry. Right. So then I will throw this airplane for this combat. Forgot I had to throw an airplane for that combat. To make that work. Because it was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, -1. So yeah. Then I throw in another airplane here. So I'm starting off with the armor as the primary. So he's +1 because he's elite, +1 because he's armor, +1 for the airplane, +1 for surprise attack, +2 for the shock army. German is +2 because he's German and +1 because he's armor. +2 for the shock army, and then -1 because of the weather. So I'm only a +5 to a +3. And I don't think I can get any more for the Russians. I've run out of stuff I can do for the Russians. So, yeah, +5 to +3. Russians roll. A 1 + 5 is a 6. A 3 + 3 is a 6, so they doesn't even phase them. They just look at me and laugh. You think you can defeat the 5th Panzer? You're surrounding it, but you cannot defeat it until you kill the 18th. See, if I'd have been able to kill the 18th or force it to retreat, this guy would have been isolated. I would have had an extra +2. Would have been a +7. Still would have been an 8, but an 8 and an 8 to a 6 would have still held. But it would have been psychologically more damaging to see that his armored unit is isolated and unable to do anything. Now he's got a chance to maybe try and do some funny attacks and kill some stuff off. If he can muster the ground units to do it. So, but I did get a willpower out of him, so now he's down to 23. So I'm weakening his position in the long run. And that is the Russian turn. This guy goes 1. This 4th Guards goes 1, 2 to the rail through friendly units, so he's in supply. All the rest of these guys are all sitting right on the supply thing. While I'm thinking of it, go ahead and put that back in the marker holding box. And everything is in supply through various rail lines. 1, 2. Okay. All right. Oh, before I did that, I think I want to move this one up to like there. All right. That's the Russian operations phase. There's only about 3 minutes left, so my alarm's going to go off while we do the end of turn phase, but I'm going to finish it up here. So, nobody has a no supply marker, so we get to skip that. Replacements for the Axis. This is a problem. There's 1 for sure. 2. I don't have anybody else that's flipped. So there's 2. Where's my initial tracks? There's 2 of the 8, so that leaves me with 6. I definitely want to build some ground units. I'm only going to flip up 1 airplane, or I could just go for no aircraft and 6. 1, 2, 3. I could build 4 infantry and 2 garrisons and have lots of ground units, but then they could all die. So I think I'm just going to build 3 ground units and bring up an airplane. So 3 more. What airplane do you want to put up? Maybe one on the Russian front? Because I think I'm going to need to only get one airplane, so it'll only have a couple sorties, but I'm thinking maybe if I could get a rolling attack or something on this 4th Guards or something. I don't know. Grasping at straws here. Or I could just build a whole ton of infantry and forget the aircraft altogether. That'll give him free reign with his aircraft. If he rolls a fair weather turn, I am in a world of hurt. But he can outplane me anyway. What am I doing? He can outsortie me. I'm to the point where I can't afford that. I just need to get ground units on the board because I'm probably going to run out of production points here real quick. I'm going to be down to like 18 in the not too distant future. So I'm going to get the army out. Heck with the airplanes. Okay. That's axis replacements. Flipped over is base down units, which is the important part. The west, this takes a little bit of time. This guy, this guy, that can just go away. That just goes away. This goes down by 2. This goes down by 2. This goes down by 2. This can just be deleted. Don't need that anymore. So the bomber just goes away. This comes down by 2. And this one comes down by 2. Okay. I'm near enough to the end of the turn that I'm just going to finish it up here. 222. Drop that down to. Got my airplane fixed. I think that's all the Americans. If I missed one, I will just take it before we start the next turn. The British, however, have to actually spend points. Spend points with the British. So we know that that's 2. So that's 3, 7, 10. And then 3, 6. 12 and 10 is 22. 10, 20, and 2 more. And then 3 more here to take this one down by 2. And then, oh, I know what I was going to do. Where's my armored unit? You missed him. And then 2 more to do that. Flip him up to full. That only leaves me with 3. I don't have anything that costs 3. The rest are all fleets. So I'm done with the British as well. And again, if I think I missed something, I will go back and fix it. And then there's the Russians. We're going to take 15. Just go get their airplanes. So that is Soviet replacements. Upgrades. I don't think anybody has any upgrades anymore. Yeah, we're all done with upgrades. Mobilization access. They have 6 points. They're going to build 6 infantry. 2 of them are going to be garrisons. One infantry. 2 infantry. 3 infantry. 4 infantry. Okay. So 4 infantry and 2 garrisons. Where to put them all? Well, one of the infantry is going to go down here in Vienna. I think the other one's going to go in Breslau. What in Danzig? Garrison there. And put the 2 garrisons like that. One in Prague and one. Stettin. Okay. The West has U.S. builds their surprise attack marker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get it back in June. And then we go over to the Soviets, who have 20 left, so they will build their surprise attack marker. Where is it? That will come back in 1, 2, 3, 4, also in June. So in May and in June, we'll each get a surprise attack marker for the Americans and the Russians. The British still have theirs in hand. If I get a fair weather turn in March or April, I'll use the British one. Otherwise, either in May or June, depending which one's fair, I'll have 2 Western, at least 2 Western, and then save the other one for July, because I might need it to make that last push. So, okay, and that's the Soviet mobilization. Nobody's talking because we're all fighting. I haven't conquered Germany yet. This game's not over. End of turn phase. Germans get a stack of stuff. Get their tanks, they get their jets, they get some submarines, and they get their heavy artillery. Which I might need to recapture a city or something to keep myself alive. Just bring this over here and then Russian tanks, British tanks, and another ultras. I got 2 ultras now. So yep, and then that's going to take us to the end of the turn. So, bit of a breakthrough here for the Russians. They're sort of encircling northern Poland and eastern Prussia. The Germans are probably going to have to sacrifice the 5th Panzer and just withdraw. Put some garrisons up to slow down the Russians. And pull themselves back behind the Vistula, the Warta, and the Oder. And the mountains. So, I will have to think long and hard on that. I don't know that I can save the 5th Panzer anymore. It's just a little bit too wrapped, and I don't have any aircraft to help. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to set up the infamous garrison screen, get all my troops behind it so that I get by myself an extra turn. German willpower is down to 23, so I have to try and protect German cities and preserve the army as best I can. If you lose a city, you have a chance to take it back. If you lose an army, it's just a willpower gone that you never can regain. So it's kind of important to preserve the army, but you also have to use it to defend. So it's an interesting balancing act for the Germans. Anyway, that was the Russian February 1945 turn for the Soviets. I'm Dren608. If you like my videos, please subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. There's not going to be many more episodes left. We're getting near to the end of the game here, so it's going to come to a climatic conclusion here very shortly, I think. The next 3 or 4 turns, hopefully. We will see you next time with March of 1945. Until then, bye-bye.